period? What is it?
I'll tell you something really, really cool.
What?
Jimmy brought, so there's two as fate, you know how the number pi 3.14 just kind of pops up in mathematics all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you look under the couch and there it is, and you turn on the TV and there it is, and
Mm-hmm.
you open the hood of your car and there's pi. The number just pops up there. We're having this really unusual number popping up, and it's 87%.
Mm-hmm.
87%. I've seen it pop up in two places here recently. So one of which, Jimmy just shared with me the stats that of our next level coaching clients, that 87% hasn't just seen an increase. That would be good enough. You know, they haven't just seen a 20% increase in their business. That too would be remarkable. When you talk about 87%, that's like, oh, Jimmy has a saying that I love, 80% is 100%.
Mm.
Right. So 80% is close enough to be 100%. Like 87% of the time I get a touchdown, you might as well say 100% of the time. Right.
Mm. Mm.
So 87% of our next level coaching clients, this is not like we had three of them. So it's like two of the three. No, these are very large numbers. Right. 87% doubled their income in the last 18 months. Doubled. And I want to make sure I got that right, Jimmy. Was it income or closed loans?
It's both.
Funny how one goes seems to go with the other. Yeah.
Yes. So with the mission being like I believe in having a mission, the mission of our of next level coaching is for our students to double their business twice.
Morning.
So they already accomplished the first goal and they're working on the second.
Mm.
Yeah. So for instance, like let's say I'm making, and I'm just going to grab a arbitrary number. I'm making 150 grand. 87% using that as an arbitrary hypothetical number because some of them it was 300,000 they were making and then they doubled that. Some it was 400,000 they doubled that. Some it was 75,000 and they doubled that. Right. So if it was 150 grand, I've gone from 150 to 300. And now for the next 18 months, I'm looking to go from 300 to 600.
Mm.
Right. So Jimmy talks about doubling the double. But I have to say, Jimmy, I was duly impressed. 87% doubled their income in the last 18 months. A couple things came to note on that on me. So number one, it wasn't 90 days.
Mm.
I do something. I start exercising, and then 2 weeks later, I try to run the Boston Marathon. It doesn't work out so well. It takes a little time. You got to build those muscles, right? And long money always takes a little bit, right? It
Mm-hmm.
does. It takes a bit, right? It doesn't take 10 years, I don't think. I mean, sometimes it
No.
can, I suppose. But in our line of work, we can make movement very, very, very rapidly, very rapidly. And that
Mm.
in 18 months, a doubling of their income. Just think like right now, what was 18 months ago for you? I want you to sit there and think for a second. 18 months ago was basically what? Let's call it January 1, 2025.
Yeah.
So January 2025, like just write down what'd you make in 2024. You're sitting there, we're going back in time here, and it's 2020, it's January 1st, 2025, and we're here and go, hey, it's a new year. We can do it, right? Let's do it. We just had a great 2024. Write down the number that you made in 2024. And maybe you know it exactly. And maybe you go, it was about this, I think. What'd you make in 2024? Everybody write that number down. We're not going to be sharing it. I mean, you can, but yeah, you don't have to share it. Everybody got that number written down? Hang on, let me write mine down.
Can we have them write down another number?
Yeah.
How many units they did that year as well, to the best of their
Oh,
recollection.
how many units did you do in 2024?
Just both, maybe.
Ballpark. One definitely falls in line with the other
I think so.
most of the time, you know. We
Most
can go up bigger houses, and things like that, but for the most part. All right, so you got your 2024 number down. Now what I want you to do is times two, right? that's what 87% did, times 2. Here we fast forward to today. Here we are, times 2. Write that number down. That's where 87% of them are. Like this,
Mm.
I hope this can happen. What would that be like? That's where they are. 87% of them. Now, when you look at those two numbers, I want you to think, if this is how I get motivated for myself, right? And we're just kind of doing this on the fly here. We'll talk about videos in a minute. This is more important.
Yeah, this is more important.
So look at those two numbers, and I'm going to use a hypothetical here of 150, and you just wrote down 300. Or it was 300 and you just wrote down 600. I want you to look at the difference between those two numbers. We call that the gap. Like, what do I have? Let's do a hypothetical 150. I was at 150, and here it is 18 months later, I'm at 300. What does that represent? Those are just zeros, commas, and numbers, right? Which mean really nothing, really. It's what they represent. What does that represent? If you're double your income from 1 year to 18 months later, Sharon, you're already doing really well.
Well, listen, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So you went from one income to one income? This is so important.
Hypothetical,
Yeah,
150
hypothetical.
to 300.
So you made another 150.
Made another 150.
So after taxes, you took home, in California, you took home 75, unfortunately.
I get it. In Florida,
Florida,
150.
maybe. So your family got another maybe $8,000 a month.
A month.
What would you do with it?
That's what. So Sharon, when you double, and I know you've doubled your income, right? Several times in your career for sure. What kind of difference, like your last double, what kind of, like, we're all taking off our humble hats here just for a minute, right? This is a real conversation. I was just talking about somebody this morning that was, that was struggling with something. And I thought, what difference did your last double make, Sharon?
The last double probably is the one that catapulted me into budgeting a savings account. So now, and Jimmy helped with that too because of the next level. But now I have a budget for X amount of dollars is going, not a percentage, a budget, a dollar figure is going into savings every single month.
Mm.
So I do like that, but then, I also do what I want to do when I want to do it.
And that's
You know?
that's what we call freedom.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can testify she does what she wants to do when she wants to do.
Yeah, that's it. And I can testify. I don't know anybody gets in her way when she does.
That's right.
So
Well,
I'm gonna.
it's even if it's not, a vacation, because we're just not in a position to really take vacations. But but if I have mini breaks, I mean, yesterday I went to the World Cup and I decided that I was going to do whatever I wanted to do and buy whatever I wanted to buy because I was never going to do this again. So, just that kind of stuff. But I think the savings and the security and just, knowing that, I mean, I'm not at the point that you are where I'm just maybe, I don't have to get up every morning and work. I get up every morning and work a lot because I like to, because I think it's fun.
The option, having options.
Having an option. Well, that's freedom.
Yeah. So I want you to write down if you doubled your income in the next 18 months, like that second number that you just wrote down, you doubled. So you said, hey, I was at 150, and then here it is, 18 months later, I'm now at my 300. So this new number, whether you did it or didn't do it, I want you to write down, if you did it, what do you have now since you doubled that? Like if you're part of the 87% in our group that went from, and again, using just an arbitrary number, you went from 150 to 300,000 for the year. What do you now have? Here it is 18 months later. What do you now have that you didn't have before? Like, write it down. This is real important. Write it down. Don't type it in, by the way. You got to write it down. And if you didn't do it, what would you have if you had done it? Like what do you miss? What's the carrot? Like, this is not to beat myself up. Well, I don't have it. I'm going to lose. No, 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 no. What's the carrot that we're going after? Like,
Mm.
what's the drive? Why am I doubling?
What would you do?
What would you do? Like, what's different in your life even if you didn't, let's just future cast and say you did. What's different in your life today now that you have it? I think it's so important that money, I can tell you something that when money becomes a scorecard, it loses a little bit of its flair. Like when money just to say, well, I just want another 5 million because I've always wanted it. It's not as near likely to happen as if there's this thing that I'm wanting to do, have, be, go, give, share. Like, I think there have to be very specific things
Mm.
because
Give.
a scorecard in itself won't get you anywhere.
A scorecard will get you started. It won't get you finished.
The scorecard helps measure me going toward my goal. I'm not saying not to tracking
Right.
100%. What I'm saying is if the only reason I want to make this much money because I've already got all my freedom I want, the only reason why is because I heard Jimmy Reed has this number bigger than mine, and I want to
Yeah.
beat him, and it really doesn't mean anything, and that's what I mean. Like when you start getting like really big numbers, sometimes it just becomes a scorecard at the country club, and who's got the highest score. And it doesn't have the same motivation as what Sharon was just talking about. Hey, we got money in our savings account, and work is becoming optional if it's not already. And I think it's real important. And then I'm not going to let you off the hook and say, you know, it's just dreaming. It probably won't happen because it happened to 87% of the people that played our game plan. 87%. If I said, hey, you've got an 87% chance of winning the lottery this week, would you go buy a ticket? I would.
What if I told you had to play every day for 3 years before you won? Would you play every day?
If I have an 87% chance, I mean, to me, and we're not saying this, right? I'm just saying this is kind of a statement of saying to me, somebody says 80%, 87% chance of rain, I'm wearing a raincoat. My umbrella is in my car. Like, it's as sure of a thing as that can be. And so if somebody says, hey, Carl, you can have what you want, if you really, really want it, you can have what you want with an 80% chance of a surety if you do these four things.
Mm.
Now it's a paint by numbers approach.
It's like a GPS for your business.
It is.
It really is.
I was talking to and he might be here. I love this man. I really do. He's just a fantastic individual. We were looking at his numbers, and he said, "Carl, I'm about 25% of where I want to be." And I said, "Yeah, you're making your calls? Yeah, I'm making my calls. You doing your meetings? Yeah, I'm doing my meeting. Most likable guy you'd ever want to meet." Right. So he speaks well. He's kind. He's gentle. He's sincere. He's on. I just love this man. Like, he's just like, it's like perfect. Like, he's a 10 out of 10. And I'm going, what in the world's going wrong? When we looked at the math, Jim, we looked at the tracking and we started doing it. I said, well, tell me about your 40 realtors. Well, I've got 9. Oh,
But he thought he was doing it.
it did. Yeah. Yeah. He would never lie to me.
No,
Right.
no, but he thought
Yeah.
he was doing it.
His brain told him he was doing it. Had
Yes,
9.
that's right.
I said, well, um, and then what about all the realtors that you're wanting to start to work with? And he goes, yeah, I got 38 of those. Okay, awesome. And how does that call every Monday? Well, I call them once a month. Oh,
Ouch.
oh, yeah. Hey, and I'm not making fun of this guy, right? I love
No,
this man,
dude,
right?
I have a story for you.
I'm only
after this.
sharing this story here's the punchline. To prove it's a mathematical formula, he was calling 9 instead of 40 on his Focus 40. Instead of calling 4 times a month, he was calling once a month. I call that 25% on both pieces.
Mm.
At 25% of his
40.
Focus 40, and he's making his call 25% of the time. And his amount of loans he's closing was 25%.
Mm.
I thought this is a mathematical formula. And so the 87% that did double their business, it wasn't 25%, it was 100% of the thing. If I cross the bridge 25%, I I don't get the golden goose.
Hmm.
I can see it. It's over there. It's closer than it was. I've made progress. Awesome. But I got another 3/4 to make. So, yeah. So the biggest message in all this, I don't know. We were planning on talking about videoing, but I don't know. We just started talking about this 87%. Hey, remember I said there's two 87%s? Here's the other one. Gosh, I almost hesitate to bring this up. So,
Well, that's a tease of all teases. You got to tell
well,
me now,
but I
bro. You
really
can't
do
do
because I
that to
always
me.
like to be cool. Like, I always
You
like to be
can't do that to
cool.
me.
I always like to be cool. So, there's a big message going around right now. You don't need realtors.
Don't tell me that. I get so upset every time I see that
It
crap.
pisses me off. Look, it doesn't hurt me. It hurts my friends.
It's
It
not
hurts
even
the
that,
people that
man.
believe that
It's
stuff.
worse than that. It's worse than that. It's a money grab and it's crap. It's like me telling my kids that candy is really good food.
So here's the facts. 76% of all realtors say that this was a study done by Freddie Mac. 76% of all of my clients, all of my buyers, of course, 86% of all of my buyers, uh, 76% of all of my buyers use the loan officer that I recommend
Hmm.
most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time. But wait, on the higher producing agents, it goes from 76% to 87%. There's that second 87% number. 87% of all realtors, of all top producing realtors, and the definition of this one was they did 20 transactions in the last 12 months. And actually, in this report, it didn't say 20 listings or 20
Mhm.
buyers or 10 and 10, but it said 20. So they did 20 transactions, 87% of them, so an even higher number because they're a better agent, they're more confident, they know what goes to closings better. They were even more so. 87% of them said their buyers use a loan officer they say they recommend. Guys, we cannot ignore this 87% on either one, frankly. On a self-serving note, 87% of our next level clients doubled their business the last 18 months. Are you going to double your business next 18 months? I can't tell you that. I can tell you 87% last group did in the last 18 months. I can tell you that. I can tell you they're well on their way to doing it, doubling it yet again for the next 18 months. But I can tell you that if you ignore, number one, a proven plan, and number two is, I had this mental image when I was riding my bike this morning, Jimmy, and it was somebody handing out coloring books and giving to little babies with crayons
Mm.
and say, if you color within the lines, you get a new loan. You color within the line. It doesn't work this way, right? This stuff might it sound fun. Like coloring is fun, though. We have fun doing it. And you don't get loans doing that stuff, no matter what anybody says. And
Oh.
and by the way,
Mm.
all that is most of the time shared by people either they're very, very low producers or absolutely no producers whatsoever. Right. So be very careful. Be very, very, very careful on the message that you're receiving and verify it. Right? Verify me. Verify it.